Johneri'O Scott here with Let's Talk with Johneri'O Scott. And today, our special guest, listen, if I was to narrow it down, I would say she's an active visionary. Why? Cause listen, she's dancing, she's doing poetry, she's rapping, painting, like she's doing it all. Miss Fierra Style. So listen, you guys, stay tuned, cause this is Let's Talk with Johneri'O Scott.
Queen Fiend, no joke. Queen Fiend, no joke. Queen Fiend, no Queen Fiend, no Queen Fiend, no joke. Queen Fiend, no joke. Queen Fiend, no joke. Queen Fiend, no. Queen Fiend, when you address me, pit road where they bless me. Raised up on them dirt roads, but ain't a city bitch who can check me. My ex nigga still text me. Worry about who the next be and I flex on.
You know, you're a creative, very creative, from dressing to artistic, like this all. So, you know, we looking on the inside, but who is Fierra?
I like to describe myself as everything. Everything that's good and good to your soul, that's me. From since I was a little girl, like I've always wanted to like be bold, stand out, express myself, say what I want, even though it used to get me in trouble sometimes. Speak my mind, even if everybody else quiet, like I don't want to say anything.
Right.
Like, that's just me. And the artist part of me came from when I was younger. Dr. Leo Twiggs is a famous artist, and he's from South Carolina. Wow. And I met him when I was very little, and I saw some of his paintings, and I was like, I want to do that. But everybody was like, you can't, or you're not gonna make no money from that. You need a real solid job and stuff like that. So I started to try to branch off into a more professional things, solid careers. But as I grew older and became more secure with myself, I was like, I can do this. So the first painting I painted was a picture of Malcolm X, and I literally, I have no training, and I just sat down, looked at the picture, and painted it, and it came out really, really good. So then I was like, well, I'm just gonna keep doing this. Right. And even with rapping, I was in school. I was a broadcast journalism major. We had a studio, yes, at Claflin University, and some guys, they were like, we want you to come in and rap on the song, and I was like, really? And so I've always had this feeling that if I was gonna do something, that I want to feel like I'm giving it my best and my all, and when I'm being authentic to myself, it just comes out like that, and people seem to receive that very well. So it's been very exciting, and it pushes me to keep going. Yeah, that's
what's up. And listen, when I saw that painting, because I think you posted on Facebook, and I was like, if he did that, yeah. I was like, because at Claflin, I always saw you as this fashionable trendsetter. That's just because I think you was one of the Charles Angels. Charlie, yes, I was like, yo, she is so dope. So when it comes to inspiration and motivation, I feel like that's something that push you, and inspiration is more as an emotion. Yeah. So what's your motivation?
I would say my motivation is my passion for people, and more importantly, my passion for women, and wanting to inspire them to be their best versions of themselves. Right. Because coming from a small town, I see a lot of girls who have the potential to do everything, and we've all been in an environment where people have at some point tried to suppress us from being our true selves and try to put you in a box. And so my idea is to go against all of that. Right. And just whatever you want to do, just go for it. And so I feel when because I performed back at Denmark at the Dogwood Festival, yes, and just to see the reaction from all of those young kids, that was motivation to me. Fee, you have to keep going, because these people are these young girls, they love you and they look up to you. And so I not only want to make sure that I'm being exactly who I want to be without any restraints, without any standards, or without being worried about what somebody's going to say, but also making sure that I'm giving like a positive message to young women so that they can be who they want to be, but also be the best version without like having to demean each other or, that kind of thing. So that's my motivation. Like when I see those little girls and they be like, you was the girl at the job, because I be like, yeah, and so that really touches me.
What would you say to them? Like, what advice would you give a young girl that's trying to find her purpose, maneuver through everything that's going on in her life?
I would tell her to take a moment to herself and think about what it is that makes her happy, what it is that makes her want to do or be whatever it is that she has in mind, and make sure that think of something that is pleasing to her soul, and it doesn't have anything to do with what anybody else wants for her, but what she wants for her. And if she finds something, whether it's helping people, whether it's like painting or singing or helping people in a way where it's like you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, like it all starts with you being confident in yourself, you having a strong mind to not have to listen to what everyone else is telling you to do or telling you to be. And if you just have that moment where you can sit down by yourself, be honest about your positives and your negatives, your pros and the cons of what you can do and what you can't do. You just need a moment of honesty with yourself, and that helps you like find your purpose. Yeah,
that's important. So I hope you took listen to that, because people can come, and if they think that that's not for you, who you can't tell me what's for me.
Yeah.
Like, you found who what you want to do, what's your purpose. Let me go through this. Let me find me. Mm-hmm. I think that's really good. Yeah. So you're heavy in the arts. You're very artistic. Yeah. Do you feel that being artistic gives you the sense of expression?
Yes, I do feel like it does give me a sense of expression. It's actually like the greatest form of freedom for me. Especially like in the world we live in now, like I don't always feel comfortable here. I don't always feel comfortable in my skin when I'm around other people. I'm not always comfortable with how people treat me. But when I dig deep into like my art and when I'm expressing myself, whether I'm like sitting down vibing to some music and I'm painting or writing, when I just let it all out, like I feel that is like the greatest feeling of freedom for me. And when I get to show that to the world and they receive it well, it makes me feel really good. Yeah.
That's good. So when it comes to this rapping game, this writing, this poetry, like you be going in. Like it's like let me see how I can say it. It's just everything at once. Yeah. That's all I can say. It's just everything at once. So what would you say separates you musically from any other poet, any other rapper? Like, Fee.
I think what separates me from most people is that I don't do what anybody else wants me to do. If it's for me, it's for my soul. When I speak or when I'm writing, I'm literally there like, I gotta make this the best thing I can possibly make it in this moment. And it has to be true to how I'm feeling. And if it ain't, then I'm not doing it. Like, I've had people like send me music or be like, yo, I want you to get on this, and we talking about this or we talking about that. And I'm like, if it's not me, I'm not doing it.
I like that.
And so that's what keeps me authentic, is because I'm not gonna, get on anything and be anybody other than who I am. Yeah.
What has been most challenging, especially as a female, conquering all these things? Like, what has been most challenging?
I would say being misunderstood. And sometimes when you are a woman, people assume they know who you are before you speak. And you have to, like, I used to be very, like, super defensive. I am not, because I will tell you. You know what I'm saying? I will tell you. But I used to be more defensive about people misunderstanding me. And now I've come to a point where I'm just like, the people who understand, they get it, and the people who don't, they might not ever get it, but most of them, they'll get it in time. If you take the time and listen, if you really want to know who I am, you'll take that time to get to know me. It's only people who are distractions or who are meant to try to deter you from being who you are that kind of give you that extra, trying to prove you wrong or trying to prove you to be anything other than who you really are. So that's one of the challenges, is being a woman and being when people like assume that they know who you are. I had a guy tell me the other day, he was like, yeah, you just a pretty little girl that like to dress up. You've lived the minimum life. You don't know anything as of yet. You're still learning. And I'm like, I've been through more than you could possibly imagine before I even stepped out of, Denmark, South Carolina. So, like, I'm gonna let you have that because you're reading. You see the book. You see the cover of the book. You don't know what's in it. So I'm gonna let you have that. And every battle isn't meant to be fought. And I'm one of these people that I used to feel like I gotta if you wrong, I gotta correct everything. I gotta let you know, and it got exhausting, and it would change my mood so much because I'm fighting to get you to see who I am until I just got to the point that I'm like, you know what, I can't. And that's when people really started. I started getting a lot more positive feedback because the haters will disperse and the people who for you, they will gather around. So I had to refocus. Those were the challenges. But if you just focus on the good and the people who are there, the people that do support you, then the challenges kind of disappear. Yeah.
That's important, especially when it comes to building your brand. And because your brand is all about you. Exactly. So let them people talk. Exactly. They don't know you, but like you said, if it's meant for them, they'll see. So Feva. So first I want to talk about your first event last year. I couldn't make it, but I'm making it this year. I'm in there. So Feva, how did you come up with this name?
Well, my aunt, Beverly, my name is Fierra, and so all of my sisters and brothers, my dad or my parents all gave everybody little nicknames, but my aunt, she used to call me Feva Baby all the time, and so it just kind of stuck with me, and only like my family members and stuff would call me Feva, and people were like, who is Feva? And so when we would perform on stage, we would perform on the porch, so it started off as just like, we would like write, draw pictures and do poetry and sing, even if it ain't sound that good, and we would take all the chairs out the house and set them outside in the yard, and all of the adults would come and watch us perform, no matter how hot it was or anything. And so my aunt, she used to always be like, you go Feva Baby, like that's what she called me. So it just kind of stuck with me like that. So when I started to venture out, I'm like, I want to do a Feva Fest, because last year we did it on my birthday, and I was like, I want to take this time to do a celebration of art where all of these like talented people that I know can have this platform, the same platform that I had, to really display their talents. And so it was personal to me. So it's nothing more personal to me than Feva. Right. So I'm like, well, it's time for me to share that with the world. So that's why I named it Feva. And that's where Feva came from.
And last year, like you said, like it was really artistic. Like you had everything going on. So tell us about your event last year and the one that you have coming up. I think it's 171 Feva. So tell them about it.
Okay, so last year we did an artist showcase, and so I had singers like Nisi Blues, Town, Crystal. They all performed. Some of them had like musicians with them who played while they performed, and it was awesome. I had artists, Yvette. She was one of the artists. I did a painting of Angela Davis. Like, it was huge. And I gave her like a black glittery afro. And so that, I actually sold that painting there. And it was a guy who brought like paintings from a bunch of the artists who were out there. One of the other artists was TJ, and my cousin Ashley. She had a lot of hip hop, Andre 3000, Tupac paintings. She's very talented. And So we didn't have rappers last year, and we didn't have dancers last year. But the vibe in the room was so on point. Like it was poets. It was like good vibes, good energy, just pouring through the room. Everybody participated. Everybody was in tune. It was great, and we held it at Route 77 downtown. Joe Smooth, well known, he helps me host he gives me the platform often to host events. He also let me do my launch party. I connected with him and Creole. They do Thursday Soleils at Truth of Columbia, and I did my launch there where I performed as well. And I told them, like, this year I was doing 171 Feva, and it's Feva 17 for the culture. And oh my God, I'm so excited about this because I said, I had got such a good feedback from it. I'm like, okay, we're gonna step it up a notch. So we got a bigger venue, and it's gonna be at Empire Supper Club on June 24th. We got a bigger venue. Now we have dancers performing. We have rappers. We still have visual artists that will be displaying their art. We got poets, and it's singers, musicians. We got a band. It's gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. It's gonna be something that I feel like I haven't seen in Columbia before. And that's the key of making sure that what I'm giving you is something that you haven't seen before and something that is worth the money. The tickets is $7 now, they're on sale, and they $10 after May 31st. It's $10 tickets. But the show is gonna be worth it. It's gonna be a whole, like, if Broadway ain't gonna have nothing on what we doing, okay? Nothing. It is gonna be so dope, and I'm so excited to be working with all of these talented people.
Like, I'm excited. I'm over here like, yes. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. And just a room filled with talent. Yeah. We gotta talk about this video with you dancing. I was like, listen, like, I was like, she was getting it. Back to the three things that I said: activist, artist, and she's aware. So where does the activist, come in at?
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to say about 4 years ago, I started reading a little bit, and I had a friend who told me to watch Hidden Colors, and I watched it, and so I was just like, dang, like, when I see or I hear about different information that can help me become like a better person, or when I can't make out, because I feel like a lot of things have been happening, far as like with the Confederate flag and with police brutality. And I remember when the Tamir Rice verdict, where the guy was acquitted, how it made me feel. And when Trayvon Martin, what's the guy's name? Zimmerman, when he got off, I just remember how it made me feel. And I have a brother and I have cousins, and I didn't know where to place these feelings, and I wanted to understand more why these things were happening, and how is it that these things are still happening now. And so just seeing all of these things continue to happen, and it all being so familiar, it made me want to know more about where I came from, what's going on in the world, what's going on in our politics, in our government, why are these things happening, what can I do about it? Because it's easy to just get on the internet and say how I feel, and a lot of people do that, and I don't have a problem with that, because if you don't get it out, you just become angry, and you don't know where to place those feelings. But I also wanted to make sure that while I was just speaking on my platform on Facebook, that I was doing what I could do to gain more knowledge and to be more active in my communities, and to figure out, to understand that these things are happening and the role that we play in them, but also the role that the government plays in these, or our politicians, our lawmakers, and even police, the positions that they are in, so that when people address me on these situations or ask me about them, I can be a help where I can be. If I can influence someone from writing a poem or make them think about something through poetry or through music, then let me speak to those things as well, because They are the most important because it is a matter of life and death in many cases. And I want us to live. We are divine and we have come a long way. And I'm just like, y'all need to know that if you feed into this is how we continue to die.
Right.
You come up out of this is how we continue to thrive.
So for someone who feel as if expressing themselves still makes them misunderstood, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to just keep pushing because being rare is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And everyone isn't going to like you. By the time everyone likes you, you probably won't even care about it. You know what I'm saying? But I think being misunderstood can be very frustrating sometimes. But I think it's very productive to focus on you and focus on the positive people around you so that you don't get too caught up in trying to over-explain yourself because it can hinder the artistry. If you focus on, oh, well, let me put another line in that because I don't want nobody to misunderstand me. It messes up the flow of your genuine thoughts. So you have to release that because when people say what they say about you, they don't care about nobody misunderstanding that. So do you.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Let's Talk with Johneri'O Scott. Thank you for this awesome interview. Listen, stay tuned. 171 Fever coming up. Shout it out. Let them know how they can get their tickets. Stay connected to what you have going on.
Well, tickets are on sale now. The early bird tickets are $7. General admission tickets are $10. You can find a link on any of my Facebook posts. I'm on Instagram. Fifi Taught Me. On Instagram, the link is in my bio, and also on our Feva Fest page. It's at Feva Fest on Instagram. In the link, you can find an Eventbrite for Feva 17 for the culture. It's gonna be a huge showcase and a great time, and you don't want to miss that.
Well, you guys, Fifi, Johneri'O out. We are out.